So Microsoft announced they're turning Windows 11 into an Agentic OS. When they say Agentic, they're talking about AI agents, and they want to add those to Windows. And an AI agent is a lot like if you just had ChatGPT interact on your computer. Like, in theory, you could tell it to do something like Tony Stark does with Jarvis, and it would do it. Like, AI agents as a concept are very, very cool. It's just currently they kind of suck. There's also a whole bunch of security concerns with AI agents. Like, Microsoft themselves said, don't turn this feature on unless you know what you're doing, because it could install malware on your computer. Like, AI agents are very far from being a safe thing anyone should use. But what Microsoft wants to do with this update with Windows 11 is make a separate environment for Copilot to do things on your computer. And the reason they want to do this is because if they put Copilot in a separate environment, they can restrict Copilot's access to a lot of different files and permissions and things like that. Because the last thing you would want is someone hacking your Copilot and then getting everything on your computer. Like when Microsoft first launched Copilot, they launched it turned on by default, right? Which is already bad. But then on top of that, people found out that Copilot would take screenshots of your desktop every 5 to 10 minutes and save them in an unencrypted folder on your computer. So if anyone got access to the screenshot folder on your computer, they would basically have access to everything that was ever on your screen, which is pretty bad. Like, Microsoft really just made this easy folder that's on every computer with all of your personal data in it unencrypted. They really did that. They didn't change this until a bunch of people complained about it. So yeah, I think it's a really good idea to move Copilot into a separate environment from your regular, window. That is a huge improvement over the first time they launched Copilot, because Jesus Christ, I don't know how that was allowed to happen. But Microsoft is definitely leaning way more into AI than they were before. Like, this is a bigger step for Microsoft. Before, they would just shove Copilot in your face and be like, hey, use this please. But now they seem to actually be taking it seriously and making features that developers actually want. Like, this is something I'm sure programmers are really hyped about, or I guess Vibe coders are really hyped about. I'm not sure how good this AI agent will be, but it's a cool little thing, I guess. Like, Microsoft's goal with this AI agent are actually like pretty good. They want to make sure all actions the AI agent takes are approved by the user, because yeah, duh. That is honestly like the biggest problem with all these AI models. They don't necessarily know what you're asking them to do, and they do things that you didn't want them to do. And if you're giving an AI agent control over like sensitive things, you really want them to do what you tell them to do. I don't know if they'll actually be able to do that though, because these systems are like super finicky. Like, we all saw with Grok a while ago where Elon Musk tried to change Grok to talk about like South African genocide. He tried to make a small tweak to Grok, and then they just started saying it literally everywhere. These systems are incredibly unpredictable. I hope they can do it, I just don't think they can. Now, they also want all actions of the agent to be observable and distinguishable by the user, which is also good. I want to be able to see whatever this thing is doing in the background if I'm running it on my computer. I don't want to have to trace back what it was doing myself. I should just be given a log of everything it did. That should just be a de facto thing. Like, if you're running an AI agent on your computer, you should just be able to get a log of everything it did. That's a pretty basic thing, I think. They also have a section about confidentiality, which I just don't even know, dude. It's Microsoft. Like, really? If you care about my confidentiality, Microsoft, why do you make me log in to Windows on my Microsoft account? I just don't take you seriously with this stuff at all. You do not care. Like, if Microsoft cared about my stuff being private, they just would let me log in offline. Okay, they would let me do that, but they don't, because they don't care. Obviously, they have to act like they're taking it seriously, but like, let's be honest, they're not taking your privacy seriously at all. Like, maybe Microsoft turned a new leaf and they suddenly care about your privacy. I just don't really believe that. They also have a longer section where they go over a bunch of different security things, and they just talk about things like providing logs for the user, the importance of being able to supervise an agent's activity, and they also highlight that agents are autonomous entities and they are vulnerable to attack, and they are. This is one of my biggest gripes with a lot of this AI stuff, is honestly, it's really easy to dupe. Like, human beings are duped by phishing emails all the time. And a lot of the time, it's not really their fault. The email is just really good. And now imagine all of the dumb things a dumb AI that is autonomous could be vulnerable to. It is a very long list. And one of the best examples is prompt injection attacks. Like, for example, someone could put white text on a PDF file that you can't read as a person, but if you send that PDF to an AI to read for you, it will then execute command prompts. Because you as a human being can't read white text because the background's white, but the bot doesn't know that the text is white. They're just like, oh, there's text here, let me read it, and then they execute commands to steal your entire computer. And I'm no security expert, okay? I just know that vulnerabilities are a vulnerability, and Copilot is a vulnerability. And I think AI agents are a cool idea. It is a cool idea to have your own personal Jarvis, okay? It sounds sick. But at the end of the day, just like things with ChatGPT, I see more negative uses for stuff like this than positive. It's just how I see it. Just like with ChatGPT writing propaganda on Twitter or just spamming in general, an AI agent could also do that in a lot worse things. Like, I am sure AI agents will be useful to some extent, for sure. I just don't think that usefulness will ever outweigh the bad things this stuff will cause. And if ChatGPT turns into some like cancer curing god or something, I'll take back my words, okay? But until then, all these bots really are like plagiarism machines and just like spam bots. It's like kind of what they do. And on the bright side of this, at least Microsoft is enforcing like generative AI stuff into Windows 11. Like, imagine an app on Windows 11 that just generates you backgrounds to have on your desktop. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Like, subscribe new, and click the down, check out my content, and have a good one.